Run, Brodie, run. Little Brodie loves to play. He lives in a big white house with his mom and dad and his older sister Judy. Brodie loves to run, jump, and play with his toys all day long. Brodie runs to the kitchen table to eat breakfast. He runs to take his bath. He runs to the mailbox with his mom and floppy-eared dog Boomer to pick up the mail. He runs to put on his pajamas before bedtime. He even runs to the side of his bed before kneeling and saying his prayers. "Slow down, little Brodie," calls his dad. "You might trip and fall." "My goodness," adds his mom, "you're like a tiny tornado blowing through the house." Running and playing excite little Brodie. One warm spring day, when the daffodils were sprouting in the front yard, Brodie and Judy's grandma, called Noonie, visits Brodie and his family. Everyone is excited to see Noonie, who always wears a big smile. She brings a new toy for Brodie. He hugs the shiny new train and places it carefully on the train track set up in the den. "I got another train," he shouts to the others. "Thank you so much, Noonie. I love you." And he runs around and around the train track, chasing after the train. "Toot toot," whistles the train. "Toot toot to you," chuckles little Brodie. "Brodie, stop running this instant," his mom hollers. He giggles and continues to run around and around the train track. Big sister Judy peeks out of her bedroom door to see what all the noise is about. Out she hops like a pogo stick, down the hallway, into the living room, with both her legs in one leg of their dad's trousers. She stares at the train going around and around the track, while little Brodie trots alongside at full Brodie speed. "What's that?" she asks, still hopping up and down while trying to keep her balance. "My new train from Noonie," Brodie answers, almost out of breath. "I'll get him," Judy yells to her mom, dad, and Noonie. She lunges at her little brother, but little Brodie is too quick for his sister. He jumps out of her reach. She loses her balance, tripping over the toy red barn near the track, and falls flat on her tummy. "Owie!" she screams, rolling over and rubbing her right leg and scuffed knee. Toy cows, tiny horses, and small trees fly everywhere. The train crashes into Judy's left leg. "I am faster. I can run like the wind," Brodie teases and zips off. Judy cries and cries. Mom, Dad, and Noonie rush over to Judy. Little Brodie feels sad for his sister. He stops running and slowly slips back into the den. He walks over to her and gently touches her shoulder. She removes her legs from the trousers. Brodie rubs her head with his hand. "Sorry, Judy," he says quietly. Then Judy smiles a sneaky little smile and grabs Brodie's new train. She races up the stairs, laughing loudly all the way. Brodie is too surprised to do anything. "Ha ha, got your new train," she teases from the stairs. Brodie understands what has happened. He runs towards the stairs to get his toy from Judy. Judy races it up the railing to the top of the stairs. "Toot toot," yells his sister. "Now who's faster?" Just then, the train slips from Judy's hand and tumbles down the stairs past Brodie. Click, clack, crunch. Pieces falling all over the steps until it reaches the last step. Broken. What a mess. Brodie cries. "You broke my new train," he says through his tears. Then he runs down the stairs, not looking where he's going. He tumbles down, like the train. "Oh my!" Noonie shouts. His dad runs to him, scooping him up in his arms. His mom rubs him all over. Little Brodie cries and will not stop. Judy stops laughing. She comes nearer. He wants to look at his train, but the fall was painful. He keeps crying. His mom cuddles him, but he will not stop crying. Judy is sad too. She picks up the broken train and hands it to her brother, but little Brodie refuses it. "I don't want it now," he cries. Sitting on the bottom step, he rubs his elbow. Judy sits quietly beside him. "I will never run again in the house," little Brodie says. He was so sad. Everybody tries to make him change his mind, but Brodie does not want to run ever again. Brodie walks to the kitchen table to eat breakfast. He walks slowly to take his bath. He walks to the mailbox with his mom and floppy-eared dog Boomer to pick up the mail. He walks to put on his pajamas before bedtime. He even walks to the side of his bed before kneeling and saying his prayers. When his dad sees this, he buys Brodie another little dog, a girl dog. Brodie names her Frisky because she's cute and likes to play, run, and jump like Brodie used to do. Brodie loves Frisky. Brodie loves that Frisky gets along well with floppy-eared Boomer. But Frisky and Boomer become unhappy. Little Brodie will not let them run. Whenever they are climbing the stairs, they walk slowly and carefully. On the side of the road, they walk. In the yard, Brodie will not let them run. "Hey, we want to run," Frisky cries one day. Boomer agrees. "I'm sorry," Brodie says, frowning. Frisky and Boomer are surprised. They didn't know that little Brodie could understand them. Frisky cocks her head to the side and lifts one ear. Boomer wrinkles his wet nose. "You can understand me?" Frisky asks shyly. "Yes," Brodie answers. "Good, we want to run," Boomer chimes in. "No, both of you will fall," Brodie says, shaking his head sadly. This made Boomer and Frisky even sadder. Brodie's mom sees how unhappy Brodie is. She becomes sad too. She makes a wish for Brodie to run again like he used to, a tiny tornado. One day, Charlotte comes to visit Brodie. She is also 3 years old. Her mom is a friend of Brodie's mom. They like to let the children play while they talk. Brodie is happy to play with Charlotte. He is always happy to play with her. Charlotte does not like running. She brings her dog Lizzie. Lizzie likes to run. Lizzie is happy to see Brodie. She jumps on Brodie and licks his hands. Then she jumps on Charlotte and licks her too. Brodie plays with her. Brodie and Charlotte laugh a lot. Brodie and Charlotte lie on the ground near the big oak tree. Lizzie rolls over Brodie. Then Lizzie runs around Frisky. But Frisky refuses to play with her. "Play with me," Lizzie says. Boomer shakes his head. "I'm sad." Brodie hears this. Charlotte cannot hear the animals. Only little Brodie. "I want to run and play," Frisky said. "Me too," adds Boomer. "So why don't you run and have fun?" asks Lizzie. "You will fall down and get hurt," Brodie says. Charlotte did not know what was happening. Charlotte looks at Brodie. "Can Brodie hear you?" Lizzie asks Boomer and Frisky. They both nod. "Wow, that's cool," Lizzie says in doggy talk. Just then, Lizzie races to the bushes. She digs up a toy doggy bone that belongs to Boomer. "Hey, Lizzie, that's mine," Boomer shouts. Lizzie runs off with the toy bone. The pink ribbon on her head flops back and forth. Charlotte laughs hard. Brodie and Frisky are laughing too. Suddenly, Boomer takes off and chases after Lizzie and his favorite toy bone. "Hey, Boomer, no running," little Brodie calls after him. But Boomer does not listen. He races full speed after Lizzie. "Give me that," Boomer says. "Stop running," Brodie shouts again. But Boomer does not listen again. Frisky decides to help her friend Boomer. Off she trots alongside Boomer. Charlotte is laughing heartily. Brodie walks toward them. Lizzie keeps running. And Boomer and Frisky will not stop running. All 3 dogs keep running playfully and having a fun time. Brodie becomes upset. He walks around the yard watching everyone having fun. Brodie still does not want to run. He keeps walking. He does not want to fall and get hurt again. "Why are you not running after them?" his mom asks. "I will fall and break something," Brodie says. "If you fall, little Brodie, you will rise again," Charlotte's mom says. "Yes, fall 7 times. You rise each time," Brodie's mom adds. "I don't understand. I fell and got hurt. My new train fell and got broken. And Judy fell and skinned her knees and hurt her tummy," Brodie says tearfully. "It means you don't give up. Never give up. Everybody stumbles and sometimes they even fall. Learn from your mistakes and get back up again. You rise each time. Understand?" his mom says. Little Brodie nods his head. It is true. The last time he fell, he rose again. So did Judy. His dad is working on fixing his new train. With that, he chases after the 3 dogs. He runs with them. Boomer is happy. Frisky is happy. Lizzie and Charlotte are happy. And that makes Brodie happy. And that makes his sister happy. And that makes his mom and dad and Noonie happy. From that day on, little Brodie has not stopped running. But he's really careful about it.